Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join this today's edition of the Chelsea Around News Roundup show. I hope you're all doing well. Today we'll talk about much, I think a whole lot. All of them are transfers, and then if we get done in time, we take our time to go through training photos and see what we can learn from them. We'll talk about Gavi, talk about Victor Osimhen, and we'll talk about the standing captain Conor Gallagher being linked with a move to Liverpool. But that's, by the way, more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, thank you once again and welcome back to Trust Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. For me, I hope I always like to ask people this question. I hope you're eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue. As for me, that's what I do. I live the blue life. Let's see who we have here. Big up to you too, Mitchell boy. If you're watching, you know what to do, and I appreciate you finding the time to join. And please go check out his YouTube channel and subscribe. Okay, enjoy yourself there, Raphael. Nice to see you, Coach. I said it before. I think Inter Milan will be perfect for Conor Gallagher. We'll get to that in a bit. And Charlie Webster should go to Young Boys. Okay, thank you for the scouting work for Chelsea. We don't need Gavi and Osimhen. Okay, when we get to them, we'll talk about them. Hello to you too, Constantine Dante. Big up to you too, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, and I hope you're doing well. Yep, much love to you, brother. I wake up early and coach not in time even for this new hour. That's a system issue. If you've been following the evening shows, you see, yeah, I'm always on time. But apologies for that. Let's see, coach. Did you watch? Yeah, I watched it, but yeah, well, that's your opinion anyway. But let's see that. But the truth remains, they played well. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Coach, I really think a Poch is okay. I'm not gonna go. I'm not into switching. You could say flying from one topic to the other. As much as I like interacting with you, if you're going to keep switching topics like this, I'm going to skip your comment. You have every right to talk about whatever you want to talk about there in the chat. But if you want me to address whatever you have in there, it has to be aligned with the current topic. Yeah, it can be exhausting to be switching between topics just like this. As much as I like to interact with you, so be warned if I skip your comment. Yeah. Always in time. Yeah, and for the evening shows. Coach, I think Fabrizio said the owners and directors didn't want a striker. Does he work with Chelsea? No. So even if you think that's the case, I am not into sucking up to whatever people say. But that's just me, and that's how I like to operate. And just quickly before we start addressing the items we have lined up, I want to quickly appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that, yeah, we appreciate you. And the truth is, you watching alone does go a long way. But we want to ask you for one more favor. If you can, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream for us. The likes to go a long way. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We'd really, really appreciate that. So thank you. Let's keep it going, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Dante, I never said, listen, I never said they didn't play well. That's your opinion. Overall, other things you say, here's thing. I think they played well. But the better side won. Let's just leave it at that. And please, let's keep the topics aligned And otherwise, I'm gonna listen. You have every right to talk about whatever you want to talk about there. But if you want me to talk about, to address whatever, or to read whatever you have in there, it has to be aligned with what we're talking about. If that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. Hey, Obi Matugba, Obi Kerenke, Obi. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. So the first question, let's talk about Gavi. I know he's a good player, still 19. But do I think we need a player that within that age bracket anymore? I'd say no. And also, I think we have good numbers in the midfield area, in my opinion. Do I think we need Gavi? In my opinion, I'd say no. But if you think otherwise, you're in the chat, you let me know. Especially for 100 million euros, that's a lot of money. I think we can spend that money. If we can spend that money, if we can spend it, or if we can spend that money on a striker and get a quality striker, I'd take that. In my opinion, I don't think we need a midfielder. We have too many. We'll have a few out on loan, and those are actually quality midfielders. You can say the same age as Gavi himself. So why sign him? We shouldn't be stockpiling talents like that. At one time, you can say it will become a problem for us because we have too many of them, and at a certain age no, we cannot send all of them out on loan. So, in my opinion, I'd say no. I don't think we need Gavi, but it'd be interesting to hear what you have to say. Let's hear you. Yep, tell him keep it in line. I don't have a problem you talking about whatever you want to talk about, but I cannot be using my energy to read things that aren't aligned and get tired even before we get into 20 minutes into the show. Big up Constantine Ngolo Dante. He has multiple names. No, for Gavi. Here's the thing, Obi. Here's how we operate here. Here's how we operate here. If you say no to Gavi, you have to let us know this is why you don't think we should sign him. You can't just tell it no. In my opinion, I said I don't think we need him. And here's the reason why I said I don't think we need him, because we have numbers in that area. A few of them still out on loan, actually. So let's hear your reason for saying no for Gavi. I want to hear you. Um, oh my goodness, just go away, Raphael. You're looking for my fight right now. Let's see, Ngolo Dante. Okay, people just exchanging a pleasantry there. If Gavi makes Casado leave, I'd take him. I know you don't like him. Why you don't like him, I don't know. I think he's a good player. He hasn't actually played that much for us, but in a few games of late, I think you could say the last 3 games has been one of our best players, in my opinion. But you have every right not to like the player. You have your own opinion, and I have mine. Francis Waiters, nice to see you. More importantly, Francis, I'm going to say this. I haven't seen you in a while, and I recognized that immediately I saw you. I hope things are okay with you. Please do let us know. Let's see what. Okay, Constantine Dante is suggesting that we swap Gavi for Enzo. Wow, swap Enzo for Gavi. I'd say no, in my opinion. But let's hear you. You have to elaborate. Are you asking Raphael that particular question? But I wanted to know if you have any reason, or you just are trying to get Raphael to start talking. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go along with 13 likes, but we can do better than that. Yeah, this here says what we need now are experienced players. Gavi is still same as Angelo Santos, a few of them. Yeah, if you sign him, and probably you'll be paying him a lot more money in terms of salary, that will beg the question. Yeah, what about the other players we signed? We still have Kendrick Pies also, who in my opinion is a much more talented player than Gavi is, in my opinion. So we have numbers in that area. Signing Gavi isn't, you can say, shouldn't be a priority. But here's how I see it, in my opinion. I think it's just rumors at this point. There's no way to confirm that's the case, and that we're really interested in signing Gavi. And if you have an X account, formerly known as Twitter, if you have an X account, you see that if you pay attention take your time to look into whatever reports you see out there. You can say majority of the reports you see out there are all recycled. Some at one point during the transfer window, or was it the January window? I can't quite remember. Rumors at the time were that we were interested in signing Gavi. So that may well be the case, but there's a chance there's some truth to it, but we don't know. We move on from that. Yeah, I agree. He's still very young, so why sign him? Why we still have the young players within our ranks? Said I don't want Gavi, but either way, remove those. Just go away. Obi, try go follow Michi Boy on Twitter. He streams too, and I think you enjoy. You will most definitely enjoy his content. Because you see, nearly all the panelists you see here on his channel. And Obi, you did tell me that you have an X account, but you haven't followed me. And I said, I did tell you whenever you do that, you should send me a DM so that I know you're the one. Get very a technical player. Gavi is a very technical player for his age. He has a lot of experience. So you are for. Let me hear you, Constantine. So you're for us swapping. You're for us swapping Enzo for Gavi. And I get it. Gavi looks like he's more physical. He can deal with physical aspect of the Premier League than Enzo, from what I've seen. But still, I'd keep Enzo over him. We could have got Brozovic for 20 million. He ticks all the boxes. Where did he go? Didn't he go to Saudi Arabia? So there's no way. I don't think we could have. I don't think we could have been able to sign him, in my opinion. N'Golo Dante, how much experience has he played in the Premier League? Thank you. That's an excellent question. Finally, Constantine Dante. I think I have somebody in the chat who helped me gang up against you this morning for me, because it's still 11 a.m. My time. Has he played in the Premier League? Has he even played up to 3 seasons in his full career with the Barcelona senior team? Absolutely not. He hasn't, in my opinion. Yeah, Coach Uarte was one of the DMs I wanted, but Brozovic could you could say would have been a good signing to have we signed him. But here's the thing, I'm glad we didn't overpay for Uarte, in my opinion. And the manager, we heard that the manager at the time told the club not to you could say add to how much they were willing to pay for Urate at the time. A big up to you to EE. Nice to see you. You're breaking up, coach. Am I really? Can anybody else tell me if am I breaking up? I think my sound is good. Let me check the sound signal here to be sure. The sound signal, in my opinion, is excellent. I don't know. Am I connected to the right network here? Just give me 1 second here. Let me check. Yep, the fastest I'm connected to. But that's, by the way, Mitchie, thank you for that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Brozovic was open to joining other clubs in Europe, but he wanted a guaranteed game time. And plus, Saudis will pay him more money. So it's as simple as that. No, at Gavi, but won't happen. EPL experience is overrated. Yeah, I think that's not a guarantee that a player would do it. But still, it's a good question. EPL experience, you could say, if anything, reduces the risk of signing a player who hasn't played in the Premier League before. EPL experience is overrated when you have all the attributes compared to our young players. He's very experienced. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't have to be 40 to be experienced. I agree, but I think Obi also does. He did make a point there. Overpay for Owate. We literally paid 115 for Enzo. But in your opinion, you think Owate is the better player of the when you compare the two of them. So that's why you're bringing that up right now. Okay, thank you. Let's see what else we have here. Coach Chelsea didn't get Owate because of the high wages of PSG offer. That's why Pot said pull out. Okay, that's still something. Yeah, that adds up to the whole thing. But thank you for correcting me with regards to that. Casado is better than Urate. Urate hasn't looked good at PSG. Looks way too slow to play DM for Chelsea, especially to be specific. If you're saying I'm not agreeing that he's slow, but if you're saying that he's slow in the French league, imagine how things will go for him in the Premier League. But that's just my going by what you said. I'm not saying he's slow. I like Urate too. But yeah, I like the two midfielders we ended up signing. That reminds me, I think maybe Rafael, you should send me a DM. I want to do a comparison video, just like I did for Ivan Toney and Victor Osimhen. I want to do one Uate versus Casado, or Uate versus maybe still do Uate versus what's his name, Enzo Fernandez. But I think Enzo is a better has better vision than Uate, in my opinion. Uate is miles ahead of Casado. That's just your opinion. Coach, do you think Poch has a veto powers uh, on buys and sells? Here's the thing. That's an excellent question. You can say the first delicious contribution, uh, yeah, of the day. You're from somebody I don't like. Here's the thing. Um, if we look at all the players who signed since he became our manager, I'm going to say this, and I think I've said this more than 100 times. There's no way Chelsea will get a player to put pen to paper, sign the check for the selling club without the manager saying, without them consulting with the manager and asking him the question, "Do you think? What do you think about this player?" If he says no, we're not going to sign that player. It's as simple as that. Especially a manager like Mauricio Pochettino, who I'm quite sure before joining the club, he was well briefed with regards to the direction the club wants to go right now. So, but that's besides the point. The point is we don't sign any player without the manager okaying the signing of the player. You can do whatever you want. Once you come to him, if he says, "I don't think I can work with this player," that's it. That deal will be off. It's as simple as that. Remember, again, as he says, even to the extent of suggesting if a player is demanding a certain measure of salary, let's move on from that player. That shows that he's always had the power. I think people are just finding a way to say something that they know the average Chelsea fan, or you could say the Chelsea fans who are eager to consume such, you can say such content, will jump at it, will suck up to it. And here's the thing: it's easy for Chelsea fans to suck up to that news. That now Mauricio Pochettino has the power to choose what player he wants to sign. It's nothing new. That has always been the case. But because the rumors has been out there, some thinks he's a yes man, some think he's just a puppet. Some think he has nothing to say. He has no hand with regards to the players who sign or not. So if you see a report suggesting that Mauricio Pochettino from January will now have the upper hand, will now be the one to suggest what the players will sign. He will not be the one to say we want player A, B, C, D. Yeah, people will suck up to it. People will eat it up. People will enjoy it, and that's because it's reflective, you can say, of their thinking, of their reasoning, of something that's been out there for a while. So it's, you can say, it's creative journalism. Not really, it's not factual, but it's creative journalism. You just want something that people want to read, and you just make it make sense a bit to them, and they will suck up to it. So I'm not falling for that. It just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Uate is very fast. And like I said, I don't know his pace, and I'm quite sure you're responding to EE. Milan's midfield was running him ragged. Let's see. Gavi already has that big club mentality because he's from Barcelona. Okay. He plays for Barcelona. At his age, playing for Barca and Spain is impressive. Yeah, I think that's a solid argument. That's a solid argument, really, and I do agree with you. And keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all joining the stream. But Urati has been in bad form, but he's way more talented than those. In your opinion, I don't see this saying. Just give me 1 second. This here is saying I don't see Barca letting him leave. I think they have to, but maybe they will look to sell other players and not him. They are, what's the term I'm looking for? They are, due to their current financial situation, they have to sell to balance the books. And Gavi is looking the most likely to leave, but I don't know. That's according to rumors. Barca is looking for money. They would let anyone go. I don't think they will let anyone. They still have the likes of Rafinha and some other players, and what's his name? Um, that French defender that we wanted at the time. Um, uh, uh, Kunde, they still have him. I think they will look to sell those players and not Gavi, in my opinion. You made me laugh out loud, coach. I don't like you. You know that already. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. They are very good players for us and will only get better. It's as simple as that. And Rafael doesn't look like he will ever change his mind, except if the players themselves convince him to do so. Yeah, you're trying not to punish him, please. Punish him. Walk with me today. Thank God we have EE here to keep to keep Raf to keep Raf occupied. EE, please keep Raphael occupied. He can be a pain. Let's see what else we have here. Kachila Kasade came from Inter Milan and he didn't cost more than 15 million, a same age a group with Gavi, and he's an excellent player. So to me, at this point, signing Gavi wouldn't make sense. And I still say go back to saying that I think all rumors at this point all rumors at this point, in my opinion. I have to say that, but we you can say we agree to disagree. That's why we're here, have a good conversation, and try to come to a sensible conclusion. So, coach, and everyone, thanks for following me on X. I didn't even know that was you. If I knew, yeah, I would have followed you long before now. You know that, brother. Could have followed you long before now. And Jay Z, it's that time of the year. Big up, nice to see you, Jay Z. I hope you're doing well. Colin Enzo, yep, slug it out with him. Thank you so much. Keep him occupied. Obi got it with Kasede balling at Leicester City now, but he would struggle to get minutes at the moment. So yeah, I think we're better off. It's a good thing that he went out on loan, and the manager, the current Leicester manager, wanted him. He seriously pushed for him, and he got him. So he needs that loan. He will come back a better player. And if we decide to move on any player from our current squad, then he slots in perfectly. He's a talent, and I'm sure the club knows what he's capable of doing, and they don't want to sell him because Inter or AC Milan wanted him on loan with an option to buy, and we refuse. That shows that we trust him, and we're not looking to sell him. And I like him. Santos too, I like him. But if I had to choose between Santos and Casade, I'll take Casade. He's an excellent player, in my opinion. Big up to you too, JC. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yep, Eugene, it's been a while. And Eugene is on Twitter. Eugene, I'm gonna find a way to share the link to your Twitter account so people can follow you. If you see those I'm following, you see all those names you've been seeing here, so you can follow each other. Let's see, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. 19 likes. We should be doing better than that. So let's start addressing the items we have lined up. And please, once again, I'm gonna say this. Let's try the best we can to keep the items aligned. Keep it aligned. If you're going switching from topic to topic, I'm gonna skip your contribution. But then again, I'm gonna say this: you have every right to have a good conversation with members of the community. Discuss whatever you want. But I'm looking for what you're saying there, your contributions there that are aligned with the current topic. That way, I don't get exhausted 30 minutes into the show. 19 likes. Again, we can do better than that. This says that Chelsea target is now is to fill any remaining positional gaps or add depth to the team so as to maximize Mauricio Pochettino's tactics. It is within that process that the Argentine will have a final say on any purchases after a collaborative process with the recruitment team, which includes a co-sporting director Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, and co-director of recruitment and talent Joe Shields. Here's the thing. Let's look at this. I want to ask you this, everybody in the chat, if you're interested, if you're having a good conversation with a member of the community, that's fine. We're okay with that. But here's a question I want to ask you. This first paragraph here says that Chelsea's target now is to fill any remaining positional gaps or add depth to the team so as to maximize Mauricio Pochettino's tactics. So, in your opinion, what are the remaining positional gaps? Let's hear you. For me, I'll start. We need a 10. We need a 10. In my opinion, I'd say let's go for a 10 for 7 before number 9. Let's go with a traditional 10 because I don't think we have any traditional 10. We have players that are good, but if you look at them, they're all just jack of all trade. You can't say their specialty is to fulfill a particular position. I'd say let's go for a non-traditional 10. I get it, but here's where the problem lies. We've been told last transfer window that the manager is looking for front players who are capable of playing across all attacking phase. Okay, so that makes it even more difficult. I'd say, okay, another remaining positional gap is it maybe we need a traditional number 9 to mix things up, as people are calling. But I think, in my opinion, I don't think that's an issue. Nkunku will still come back. We'll have Jackson. We have what's his name, Amanda Broya, and we have Cole Palmer has shown he can actually play in that position. And from what we know, Pochettino likes a fluid or a liquid front line. Let me just call it what Glenn calls it. But let's hear the positional gaps. Let's hear your suggestions there. The directors are fraud. So in other words, Poch will consider you now. We need midfielders. Not me. I wouldn't go with an S. I don't think so. You know exactly what you're doing. You just at this point you're trolling, Raphael. We need. You can say, let me just stop playing around. I think we need number 9. We need a traditional number 9, in my opinion, to mix things up a bit. As much as I'm not a big fan of traditional number 9s, but I think we can mix things up and be even better. And Nkunku and Palmer are good 10s. I wouldn't say Nkunku is a good 10. Nkunku is more of a, you can say, more of a forward than he is a 10. For me, in my opinion, if you have to be a 10, you have to be excellent at creating chances for your attacking teammates, in my opinion. Nkunku is more of a second number 9, a winger, than he is a 10. I get it. If you play him there, he will fulfill that role and still do well, considerably well. But here's the thing. You said the notion, or maybe the idea that Nkunku is a 10, it's because of his overall skill set. Because Nkunku is better deployed, deployed in a deeper position where he can make use of his explosiveness, dribble skills. But in terms of no, he's not. Palmer is more of a creator than Nkunku. In other words, Palmer is more of a 10 than Nkunku is. Nkunku shouldn't, for me, in that 10 role, except if he starts in that 10 role, maybe the application will be more of that of a second striker than a traditional 10. Then yeah, maybe that's when it works. But Nkunku, for me, in my opinion, it's not a 10. But that's just my opinion. I get your argument there. I used to that he can actually fulfill that role, bro. I think we've seen him play there during preseason, and he was confused. But I'm going to say this again. Is that maybe if the application will be that of a second striker and not really the application of a traditional 10 role, then yeah, he will excel in that position. Nkunku Palmer 10s, perfect 10s. In my opinion, those are not my perfect 10s. I need more from my 10. You think Sade replaces Gallagher next season, coaches? I think they will sell Gallagher to balance the books. I don't think the club will sell Gallagher. I think the club, here's the thing, I don't think the club will sell Gallagher because of it. I think the club will end up selling Gallagher because if he refuses to sign a contract on their own terms. And I fear that I'm seeing again that there's a chance Gallagher's case end up you can say becoming something similar to that of Mason Mount, where the whole thing comes down to money. That's how I see it. Gallagher Casade cannot replace Gallagher, and that's because Casade doesn't operate like Gallagher. Gallagher operates differently. What makes Gallagher unique is his industry, his present energy and all that. But more, Casade has more technical ability, but cannot give you that energy and that sort of pressing you get from Gallagher. So they differ. I don't see Casade. If anything, Casade can be rotating with the players such as Enzo because he has that vision too. It's in the midfield area is actually very tight at Chelsea right now. Yeah, getting a permanent place for any player is something difficult. Nkunku, Palmer, and Carney can fit in the 10 role. I'd say actually more of I agree Carney, but not Nkunku. That is my preference. Let me just be clear. My opinion, my preference, and Nkunku isn't a 10, in my opinion. And if you ask him, he'd tell you that he sees himself as a number 9. And from the way he applies himself whenever he's on the pitch, I'd say he's not a 10. I'd rather him play from on the flanks than play centrally as a 10. But again, I'm going to repeat myself. Everything comes down to application. Number 9, 10, central defense. Central defense again. I'd rather we bring back Humphreys. I think we have enough experience in the back line, even in the absence of Thiago Silva. I think we'll be all right, in my opinion. Goalkeeper, maybe. We don't know. But here's the thing. I think the club, they're being a bit, you could say, should I say, they're not being straightforward with regards to whether we're looking to sign a goalkeeper or not, or maybe they found a way to put whatever they're planning to do in January under wraps. Because once it becomes clear that we're seriously interested in signing a new goalkeeper, then you're creating a problem. Then Sanchez will not be settled. So maybe the club, they find a way to put our transfer activities under wraps, which I thought was the case towards the end of the past summer transfer window. I think Lucas Paqueta is what we need. And Nkunku playing as 9. Yep, I don't think Nkunku is a 10 for me. That's just my opinion, my preference. If I were the manager, I would never play him as a 10. He gets lost there. You need a 10 that's capable of creating chances for the attacking players. And now Nkunku can be explosive, but he's more of a 9 than he is a creator. I would go for a number 9 and left back. Yes, left back. Thank you. How do I miss that? Left back is very important. We cannot rely on Chua. Here's the thing. We actually lack numbers in the left back area, given our situation. Let's pay attention. Hear me out. Ben Chilwell is hardly fit. He's hardly fit, and it's been like that for about 4 seasons right now. Play 4 or 5 games, and then by the time we get to the sixth game, he gets injured and then be out for a while. That's a problem. Ian Matson isn't seen as a left back. Yeah, if anything, the manager sees him as a midfielder, and in that area we're packed. So which means he will most likely leave in January or maybe summer, and that's because he no game time for him. And then Colwell isn't a left back. It was a makeshift defensive line because the manager at the time didn't trust Cucurella and didn't trust, you could say, they also didn't trust, what's his name, Ben Chilwell. But that's just my opinion anyway. We finally started to see Conor Gallagher capability at Chelsea. Now Chelsea want to sell. Why? Chelsea doesn't want to sell him. Yeah, Chelsea doesn't want to sell him. He still has about 2 years left on his contract. The rumors are that we haven't offered him any contract yet. Does that make sense to you? No, you just concluding that the club wants to sell him. We're done. But I'm saying I fear that there's a chance his case may well turn out, you can say, end up being the same as similar to that of Mason Mount, about money, about the contract structure, who gets what not. But I hope it doesn't come to that. We need depth. Don't trust Nkunku, injury prone. I mean, you could argue that. I'm not trolling, coach. We need a proper midfielders instead of the players we have right now. Let's also not forget Chukwuemeka. Yeah, Chukwuemeka is more of a 10 than Nkunku, in my opinion. It's more SS than 10. But second striker than 10. But in role, exactly the application. If Nkunku starts as a 10, then the application will most likely be more of that's that of approach of a second striker than a traditional 10. And but we need a creator in that area, a fine creator. So I'd rather Palmer play there, in my opinion. Striker is where he played a lot behind Werner at Leipzig. Okay, Nkunku playing at 10 can leave lots of space behind for opponents. In some part of the game. Yeah. So I agree with you. So the last time he tried the manager deployed him there, he looked lost. People, 20 likes, but I think we should be doing better than that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's get it to 100 likes by the time the show ends. Gallagher should force a move to Inter Milan. He's not looking to force a move. What he wants is just guaranteed playing time. And now we've heard that he's open to signing a new contract. The question is, will the club offer him something that he'd like? But we'll find out. We have so many midfielders, so we don't need Gavi. Thank you. That's how I see it. We don't need Gavi. It's as simple as that. Inter will take Gallagher. Let's see. Got Chipchilla or got Chimera. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Humphreys, wow, because you don't like him. Let's see what else we have here. Looks like I'm gonna drop to the very bottom so that we can address the next item we have lined up. Let's see. I would sell all our three left backs if there's a possibility to get Theo Hernandez. I like Theo Hernandez, and rumors are that we're interested in signing him. And when I saw that, I had to go through the situation we talked about. Chilwell not that's hardly available. Martin not seen as a left back. Colwell not being a left back. Then I decided maybe we may well be seriously interested in signing. Theo Hernandez. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, Theo Hernandez, perfect left back. Also, Alfonso Davis, maybe. But let's see. I don't think I don't think Alfonso Davis is for sale in my opinion, but we'll find out. At least until January, clubs should not be discussing purchases, coach. I think I believe you. That was why we did agree the other day that whether Chelsea signs a striker, especially one that they will pay premium for in January, comes down to how well the players we have do by the end of the season. I think I agree with you. It will affect the squad we have. Yeah, you're sending the wrong message. It depends on the players you're signing, though. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I don't know. You have anything to chip in before we move on to the next item, Jerry Z? If that's the case, let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Yeah, big up to you, Jerry Z. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. You can move ahead to the next article.
All right, thank you so much. Just give me 1 second here. I want to take care of something quickly. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We don't have too many likes, but I think we should be doing better than that. Just give me a second. I want to do something here so that by the end of the show, it will redirect people to Chelsea versus Brentford. Match preview. All right, let's move on from that one there. We've addressed that one. Let's move on to the next item we have up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's move on to the next item. All right. All right, we've talked about Gavi at length. I don't think we should be talking about him right now. 19, he's 19 years old, and for 100 million euros, it's a signing that will not make sense. It's a signing that will raise, lead to some of the talents were signed of late to start asking questions with regards to what we're doing. And if we're signing Gavi, he walks straight into the team, given his pedigree and how good I believe he is and can become. So he will raise questions other than that he can solve for us, in my opinion. And we're packed in that area. I don't think we need him. I don't know anybody else. Bob, you have anything to add to that before we move on to the next item?
Yeah, big up, coach. No, not really. We're always going to be linked with different people. We've been linked with him in the summer, and we're getting close to December, so the links will start coming up. So I know we'll definitely go for a striker, it seems, but the Gavi rumor at the moment, I'll just take it as a rumor.
I think it's just probably Barca trying to see if they can get us to come pay premium for the guy, so make it easier for them to get more money and solve the problems they have.
Or his agent trying to squeeze in a new contract. Although Barca is broke and can't really give anybody a contract, but you never know.
Yeah, right now they just can't. The only known young talent I want is Musiala. Good luck getting him from Bayern. Jafta Isain and Kunku can play at wing as well. That's what he brings to Chelsea. Versatility. He can play as a 10 when needed, but as you said, he's no creator. Yeah, that's the only thing. The only minus there is not creating in terms of creating a volume of chances he's capable of creating per game. I'd rather we go for a traditional 10. He can be effective also. He's a fine player, a good finisher. I'd rather him play as a 9 than a 10. I will not hide that comment, Raphael. You are paid, it seems. Why? And yep, 24/7 links. Yep. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with 21 likes. We should be doing better than that. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Fabrizio Romano on the Gavi links. That should have been the next item after the Gavi talks. I'm not aware of that at all. Gavi and Pedri are considered a key player of the Barca project. Sorry to disappoint you, Chelsea fans, but I don't think there's much to the story. So that's why we're here. We don't just pick one side and stick with it. We'll always try to have a good conversation and come to a sensible conclusion. So we can say, the Gavi to Chelsea rumors at this point, absolute horse doo-doo in my opinion. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. And chances are they are recycling stories. You can say the fact that we were interested in signing him. Was it last summer or January? Rafael Banca with the beat of humor. It's all right. Just don't be rude, bro. And using bad language is just not cool. We want streams to be enjoyable. Yep, keep it as civil as possible. All age groups and kids. So please, you're welcome. Thank you so much for saying that, JC. Nkunku is much more creative, but not for there's sort of he's creative. There are, and again, you could say we have to categorize creativity when it comes to football. You can dribbling is creativity. Yeah, passing range is creativity, but in terms of creating clear-cut chances, it's another type of creativity, in my opinion. That's depth to it. And Nkunku is more creative, but not as a 10 in this system in football today. He's better, more offensive role than he has when he has freedom. Yeah, I think I was saying the same thing. He cannot. He's addicted to using those language. And Bobby Michiboy is saying hello to you. Let's move on from the Gavi story. We've already addressed that, so why repeat? So we'll move on to the next item here.
Yeah, big up, Michi. Big up.
Yeah, Michi Bobby is saying he's saying big up to you. And I think that Victor Osimhen is trying to force his way out of Napoli, but Napoli are very good at holding firm and don't really get bullied by their players. I think that'd be tricky to get Osimhen in January. I think right now, I think De Laurentiis will get the message. Osimhen wants to leave. He will most likely sell him in January because the more his contract winds down, the less they get from his sell. In my opinion. But De Laurentiis clearly he sent a message the other day with that report that we addressed with regards to what he had to say with Osimhen, Napoli future, where he said Osimhen, they have an offer on the table for him. That if he ends up not signing, something to the effect of if Osimhen ends up not signing that, you can say extending his stay at Napoli, that they're fine with it. Then went on to say, second part of that particular report said, Koulibaly had just about a year left on his contract, and you know how much we got from his sale. So that's him saying that it's a warning shot from him or warning sign from him that even if he wants to leave, that doesn't mean we're selling for cheap. I see him, whatever happens goes for a premium, but how much we don't know. It'd be difficult for him to sit there and try to, you can say, wind down his contract and rust on the bench. I don't think that happens. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Let's hear you. Jerry looking great in polo. Yeah, that's you looking for a fight there. Rafael, okay, just having a conversation. But let's hear you, Bobby. Do you see him to Chelsea? This is not saying anything about Chelsea, but I don't think it's going away. Fabrizio Romano also did mention Chelsea's link interest in Osimhen, but nothing too concrete, he said. But we're also I think he said something to the effect of Chelsea monitoring Osimhen's situation at Napoli, but at the same time, we are also interested in Ivan Toney. I don't know, Bobby, you have anything to add to this? It won't go away, really. But this particular report, it's not saying anything. It's not talking about Chelsea's interest in Victor Osimhen, but let's hear if you're there. And if you're in the chat, let us know which of the two players, Osimhen or Ivan Toney, whichever of the two players you think Chelsea should sign. Let us know why. Bobby, let's hear you.
Yeah, I mean the Osimhen link and the Ivan Toney link, it's going to be the saga of January, isn't it? Because we're not the only players, in the hat. I think depending on what happens with Mo Salah, Liverpool will be sniffing around Ivan Toney. He is a Liverpool fan. I think that sentiment is stronger than whatever sentiment people are trying to put on him with Arsenal, simply because he said he liked the way Arsenal played, which means nothing to me. But people will clutch at anything to give themselves hope. I know Liverpool will be sniffing around there. Osimhen will be expensive. Will it be too expensive for Chelsea? Not necessarily, but the bargaining of the Napoli owner and dependent on whatever wage demands he comes up with could tilt the balance. And then there's the whole issue of securing Conor Gallagher, which is another conversation, I know, but I think we need to secure that. I know other people have their opinion, but I think he's vital as a functional cog in the Chelsea machine going forward. But that's another thing. So Osimhen or Tony. Osimhen has a lot of advantages over Tony, not least his age. He is a prolific scorer. He is good on the ball. He's good in the air, as is Tony. Tony's advantage is that he has Premier League experience. He's not as young as Osimhen, but he's in his prime. And of course, a disadvantage of him is his gambling history, which could be something to work against him in the market if there's competition like with Osimhen. Look, this is all down to the sporting directors. I think the sporting directors, we have to bow to their insight knowledge here. And depending on where they lend their weight of those two, I will follow, to be honest. But I have this feeling that Chelsea aren't going to make many signings, if more than one, this January or indeed in the summer. And that lends further advantage to a move for Osimhen. But remember, PSG want him so they can um, splash some cash. I don't know how they are dealing with their FFP issues, but that's another option. I don't think Real Madrid are very much in the picture, but he's a very highly sought after player, and that competition for his signature then plays more into the Napoli owner's hands, who is as difficult as they come in doing a deal with. I don't know. And because of that, that might make Chelsea shy away and look more at Ivan Toney. I don't know. Maybe the Chelsea sporting directors prefer Ivan Toney because of his Premier League proven pedigree. They might think, okay, despite his age, he fits the project. Somehow, I doubt it. I think the project is very age dependent. But you never know. There's always an exception to every rule. So it's going to be interesting. The good thing about it is that we're not approaching these deals from a point of desperation. When we were going for our midfielders, particularly Caicedo, we were desperate. We had no midfielders. We needed to install the change. We needed him in particular. Now, we're not in that position. We're in a position where it would be fantastic. It would be the icing on the cake to get either of them, but somehow we can limp along with what we have. If what we have gets fit, in the terms of Broja, Nkunku, and absolutely Jackson. Now, it needs a striker of that quality, of those two that has aforementioned, but we're not as desperate. When I say desperate, it's not a be all and end all as the Caicedo deal was. As far as I'm concerned, Caicedo was a be all and end all. We needed that player, and we've got him, thank God. But boy, did we have to pay for it. Now, either of them, we're going to have to pay. Anybody that wants either of them is going to have to pay.
Mhm.
But we go into that negotiation. Is any negotiation ever relaxed? Not really, but this isn't a desperate situation. So we're slightly more relaxed. But if we're going to go for any of them, we must be assertive or we're not going to get them. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it does make sense. Thank you so much, Bobby. Jerry, if you have anything to add, should I move on still?
We have already talked in detail about this topic, right? So
Mhm.
it will be more of a repetition. I think we have talked about it numerous times, and I'm sure this will continue from now on till December, right?
Or until he joins some other club.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, like my perspective is different. It's that it will depend where we are on the table and what is the requirement, how we will do. Right now, of course, since the Brighton game, we are undefeated in the last 4 games. We are progressing. We are showing promising signs. Players will be coming back. Reece James is back, and Kunku will be back in a month or two. So a lot will depend on that, right? It's not straightforward, but I do agree with Bobby that there is still a huge possibility we'll go for a striker because so far Broya or Jackson they have not convinced the large section of the fans, and I'm sure the board as of yet. So again, like we have done the analysis, and the way I looked at it, that I think Osimhen has the edge in terms of his profile and his ability. Still he can get much better, but it will be interesting to see and analyze further what will happen. Either way, I think we'll, if we get one of these two players, it's a good signing, I would say. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is it possible to get players that are not injury prone? It's difficult. Here's the thing: some of them were signed, they weren't injured when we signed them, but the moment we're done signing them, they get injured. So it's a Chelsea thing. Maybe that is something that confirms we'll sign. We'll sign a proper Chelsea. It feels like our team depth is full of injury-prone players. You could argue that it's a solid argument. New striker will not upgrade this team now, except if the striker is Mbappe. We need more creators than strikers, in my opinion. A natural goal scorer will improve the team. It depends on how you argue it. But I think more importantly, we have a few good scorers right now, so we need more creators than we need more scorers, in my opinion. If we're chipping in goals from the midfield, the flanks, the wing backs of the you can say wingers, the 8s, the 10, whatever you want to call them, 6 and defenders, then yeah, we'll be all good with the strikers we have. Yeah, I don't think Mbappe comes to Chelsea, but Mbappe does not like to play as a number 9. He is always complaining at PSG. He even wanted a clause in his current contract to avoid that. Let's see what else we have here. This says, I think it's just unlucky at this point. Obi, apart from Chile and Reese, who is again, yeah, well, unlucky. And how? But it just seems as if we sign a player, if that player doesn't get injured, then we haven't signed a real Chelsea player. Osimhen isn't Premier League proven. There's always that uncertainty with players from other leagues. Yep, I think I agree with you. Even if you say, yeah, there's no such thing that a Premier League proven is a term that's you can say overrated. The fact remains, if you sign a player that has played in the Premier League already, it reduces the risk. Yeah, of signing. You can say the risk it's less than that of a player you sign from another league. It's as simple as that. A simple logic, but I get it. That a player is Premier League proven isn't guaranteed. It's as simple as that. And I knew Constantine that was going to say that. Was going to say that again. And the other thing is that Nkunku will cook better at 9 than Osimhen and Anthony, and Poch knows it probably, but we'll find out. Hello to you too, Avarna Iswara Loganathan. I hope you're doing well. Why do we need Gavi? It's a question. Rumors are will be linked with a move for him, so we're asking, do we really need him? Why do we need Gavi? We already have Gallagher, also Santos and Casade. We're jammed, so we're packed in that area. And we've talked about that at length, and we did agree. We have numbers in that area. We don't need him. Plus, it's not going to come cheap. For 100 million, it'd be just a waste of money. We've signed plenty of players from the Prem that have flopped. Yep, so it's no guarantee.
Yeah,
Playing
we
in league.
also have Cole Palmer, who
Yeah,
is
so that's what I'm saying. But the point is, it doesn't
yeah.
guarantee, but it reduces the risk. If we're being truthful to ourselves, for those that are arguing it doesn't matter, I think it matters to an extent. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. Has never played for a club with pressure. That's another thing to mention. I'm not sure if he's a big fish in a small pond. We don't know yet until we'll sign him. Bobby, so much a Premier League for a striker. Think it's going to happen. I think Poch told them in the summer, and they didn't listen. And thought Jackson would do a good job. Wow. Michi is now accusing the club too. We will probably sell more in January. Chalobah, Matson. Chalobah certainly we've heard will leave. Matson may be. We're not going to be in a rush to sell Matson because we've extended his contract by a year. So go
I
ahead,
think
Bobby.
if we get a striker in January, it's testimony to how much Pochettino probably wants one, because now on in, he's involved with transfers. So everything is his call. If we go for Gavi, that's his call big time.
Yeah.
Because it's not a player that really we need. So I don't think it's true, but there you go. But either or, Ivan Toney or Osimhen, it's going to be interesting, because it's going to be 100% Pochettino's call for sure.
Yep. Yep. I would point to Poch's comments during his first CFC interview, planning for the January window starts when the summer window closes. Since he only joined in the summer, he would be more involved from next time. More involved is the language. People are sounding as if we sign players without consulting him. It just doesn't make sense. How Real Madrid can play without a classic striker. Let's see. Yes, Chalobah, yeah, most likely leaves the club in January. Are we lacking goals or assists? You could say
Sorry,
Heston.
coach. But people can't say he wasn't consulted. Jackson was his call. He went for Jackson. So he was definitely a part of the decision-making process. But I think now he's going to be able to point at one or two players, and I think they'll back him. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but a centre forward, definitely he'll be a big part of that if we go for that.
Yep, I've learned not to say that you can say I've learned the hard way that the new owners, they don't shy away from spending. If they want a player, they get that player. And I'm not too concerned about FFB because as I've always argued, I'm quite sure they had somebody who behind the scenes will be always busy crunching the numbers and letting them know, you can say, the limits, and so not to cross it and get into trouble. We're lacking goals or assists. You can say we lack both. The more chances we create, the more the chance we have to score more goals. Yeah, and we've not been clinical. But if we're saying here's my problem. I think I'm starting to see the sort of argument I used to see before we signed Lukaku. We were creating so many chances, missing so many chances, and the chances were being missed by multiple individuals, not by multiple individuals, not a single person. And then somebody came up with the idea: let's sign a single individual, a traditional striker to be precise, which in Lukaku at the time. Sorry for mentioning his name. That will solve a problem. And forgotten at the time that if you sign a traditional number 9 such as Lukaku, if he's on the pitch, we'll be channeling all our goal scoring opportunities through him. It takes time to fix the problem of that not being the case. And the moment we signed Lukaku, either I don't know whether it was subconscious, whether it was by design. Every time Chelsea player gets the ball, they're trying to find Lukaku. And whenever he's playing, we scored less. And as I don't know what happened. He got injured. We scored more goals in his absence. And he came back again whenever he played, we scored less. So my opinion is that's why I've always preferred a much fluid attacking line than an attacking line where you have a traditional number 9 whose job is just to get into the box, wait for the crosses. Which means by default you'll be channeling all your goal scoring opportunities through a single individual. And once that individual is stopped, that's it. Your team stops playing. You can't succeed. But Tuchel recognized that, and when asked, he refused. He said, "I'm not going to build my team against a single around a single individual." And that's why I'm saying I don't think Pochettino will ever go for a traditional striker. Osimhen maybe because he's still very young, and I'm seeing people have argued that truthfully he's capable of dropping deep and participating in the play. But I think there's a chance we're not going to be spending premium on a striker come January, in my opinion. Let's see. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think Nicholas Jackson would do better in a 10 or his thing? I think the same thing you're thinking about him was the way I used to see Christopher Nkunku. Until I started seeing him up close, I seen he's not a 10, and he's Nicholas Jackson is a striker, but not your stereotypical number 9. He's a hybrid number 9, and that's what he is. I don't think he can play as a 10. You need more from your 10, but it depends on who you ask. If I were the manager, I need a 10 who's capable of creating a high volume number of chances, in my opinion. Do I think he's that guy? No, I'd be better off playing him as a 9 and still utilize him. You see how he drops deep, participate in the play, and capable of creating chances for his teammates. That was probably why Pochettino went for him. So I don't think he's a 10, in my opinion. I don't think he'd do better in a 10. No. We will not sign Gavi. I don't think we will. Fabrizio Romano, Gavi, and Pedri are considered a key player. Yep, I think we've addressed that too. Vic, nice to see you. Gavi is a creative midfielder. He's not a bad shout. We lack creativity in our midfield. We're back in a side part. Yep. But I don't think we'll sign Gavi. We've addressed that, and I think that will be the case. We will not sign a striker in January. Nkunku can play as a striker in the same formation we used against Arsenal. Yep. Which is why we said there's a chance everything we're hearing about Osimhen, even though it's not going away. Chances are all rumors at this point. But we'll find out. Everything depends on how well we do come the end of the season. Coach, I'm missing puzzle is that 8-10 hybrid that you're talking about, or all yet, but serious and quality players who can give us that balanced creativity and be dangerous for opposition. Yeah, opening goalies. Poch said no to Vlahovic. Thank you for mentioning that again. So he's always been part of the process. It wouldn't make sense to get Osimhen in January since he already missed a lot of games already, and he's currently injured. Will be traveling for AFCON 2. AFCON early next year. We might sign you could say a situation Summer Jackson plus Bryan now. Yeah, and if they do well, the club won't look to sign any other player. We all know that Poch cannot say anything. Maybe I think that's just your opinion. Come on now, Eugene. Are we confident that Roma will trigger release clause of Lukaku? There's no way to tell. We just heard that there's a clause which gives them the opportunity. Which gives them you can say the opportunity to sign him if they want to. There's a fixed price now. Yep. But let's see what happens. So Lukaku got 15 goals for Chelsea in a very turbulent season. From his POV, Lukaku signing wasn't necessarily a failure. It wasn't necessarily a failure, but it didn't really work out for a multitude of reasons. He didn't help matters either. I think we need to address the elephant in the room. Judging by how things are going at Roma, we will have another summer of entertainment. Possibly. I hope that's not the case. Well, we will find out. Let's see what else we have here. So I can follow you. Please share your Twitter handles and follow each other there. Eugene wants to follow the community members. Is the Gavi rumors linked to why we are linked to Olmo? Possibly. I haven't seen anything with regards to our interest in signing opposite of Danny Olmo. Nope. I don't think so. I think the Gavi news most likely, you could say, clickbait. But once something like that starts, it picks up, and that's because Chelsea fans were always on the lookout for the next big talent available on the market. In my opinion, I will ask Kachila. So, share with you in the DM. Okay, there's no way that Nico can play 10. Nope, he cannot. Especially, no, I don't think he can. No. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. And how many likes in total do we have? 26 likes. We should be doing better than that. All right. We have this one more item. I'll address that, then we'll go to the next one. This is saying Lukaku has 7 goals and 9 appearances for Roma so far. If they have the finances, nothing stops them, especially if Mourinho stays. I think he will try to get him. And he said something to the effect of that Lukaku has become a man. He was a kid when he first walked under him, and that's the truth. At Chelsea, and I think did he play under him at United? I can't quite remember. This particular report here saying that Chelsea are not looking to replace Robert Sanchez. He has an important advocate at Cobham in Ben Roberts, his former goalkeeping coach at Brighton and Hove Albion, and now global head of goalkeeping coach at Chelsea. That's a belief he has all the tools to become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Here's the thing, I'm going to say this. Even if he has an advocate, has a very strong advocate at Chelsea, as we're being told here, if the manager decides, no, he's become a problem, he's gone. And plus, I'm going to say this also, even if the club intends to replace him, they're not going to come out and say it. You'd still see similar statement as this. Because if you make it clear that you want to replace him, then you're causing a problem. Next time he got the sticks between us, he's not going to be confident. With his mindset on finding a new club, since he's learned that the club wants to replace him, in my opinion. But that's just me. Anyway, Mourinho leaving Roma might stop them. Yeah, I think that could happen. And the rumors are that Mourinho leaves at the end of the season. I'm not sure whether to believe that or not, but we'll find out in due time. In terms of Robert Sanchez, I think he's a good goalkeeper. But here's where I'm concerned. I've seen lots of videos. I've seen some on TikTok where he went out on loan. I think he went on loan to that particular club from Brighton. Made a lot of, you could say, errors at the back from passing out from the back. So it's not new. I get it. When a team plays out from the back, chances are of every now and then the goalkeeper makes a high-profile mistake, some of which will lead to to the team conceding goals. But I'm concerned about Sanchez's ball playing ability, and I'm also confident there's a chance that improves as the team develops more chemistry between each other. Then they know where Sanchez will most likely pass the ball and be there to receive the ball. But there's no way telling. Let's hear you, Bobby, what you make of this news. Do you believe that we're not looking to replace him? Because I think even if we're looking to replace him, nobody will know. It will not be public. But let's hear you, Bobby.
So replace who?
Robert Sanchez. This is saying that Chelsea are not looking to replace him, and I'm saying that he has an important advocate at Cobham in Ben Roberts, his former goalkeeping coach at Brighton and Hove Albion, and now global head of goalkeeping coach at Chelsea. And I'm saying that's not a guarantee. Everything comes down to the manager. If the manager says he's become problematic, he says, I don't want him. And that's it. He's gone. But again, more importantly, even if the club are planning, even if Chelsea are planning to replace Sanchez, you will not know. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to go along with your latter statements. If they're planning to replace him, you wouldn't know. However, I don't think replacing him is the priority. I think the priority is to train him and get him ready, get him prepared, and to get rid of the flaws in his game. He has probably till about January, till next summer. But definitely, if he continues in the way he is, which is a little bit shaky, if anything better is available, we will go for it. He's not guaranteed, but is he going to be turfed out? No. He's under enough pressure from Petrovic. I've seen bits of Petrovic in training. I know training isn't everything, but if Petrovic is everything that I think he is, and I hope he is, if he's given his opportunity, he will take it with both hands. And Sanchez may find it difficult to getting it back. So it's an interesting dilemma. All top clubs have this dilemma in the goalkeeping situation, where the top dog, even if you're Thibaut Courtois or your was the former Bayern goalkeeper, even if you're of that quality.
Neuer.
Neuer, when he was fit. Even if you're of that quality, there's always somebody sniffing around your heels looking to take your place, and you have to keep your standards up. So that's not a bad thing. It's just that I don't think Sanchez can afford another mistake like against Arsenal. I think he's burnt his mistakes for the season. If he has another one, then don't be surprised to see him coming off the bench, because goalkeepers can't cost us points. You can't, you're there to save us points. And if in the inevitable, sometimes you're beaten, it can be, well, tolerated. But to cost us points like that, which isn't the first time. I mean, throughout that game, he made that error several times. It's just that they didn't result in goals. Now it has resulted in a goal. He's made the error in games before. I think any manager worth his salt will take note of that and tell the goalkeeping coaches to really have a word with him, talk to him. Look, if you can't play it short, or you feel there's a lot of, his problem is people think his ball distribution is bad. I beg to differ. I think his anticipation is bad. He passes balls short, and he passes balls into without anticipating the danger of interception. One thing about Kepa was very good at anticipating where to place the ball coming from his feet. If there's anything he had, it was that. Unfortunately, that couldn't cover up for his other deficiencies, but he was excellent at that. Sanchez at the moment is absolutely terrible at that. He doesn't anticipate. He plays the defensive midfielders into problems rather than into a new attack. And my message to him is, look, if you can't place your ball, play over the top, launch it. You know what I'm saying? We have enough players that
Mm.
will want to run onto it, but all this trying to play it short, and you have a tight press like Arsenal were, and you're giving the ball away. He did it against Fulham. He did it against Brighton. He got away with it against Fulham and Brighton, but Arsenal he didn't. So he can't afford to do that, and he must be, for want of a better word, punished if he does that again. And that punishment has to be on the bench. And we
Mhm.
try the other guy. And if he's no good, then we start looking seriously at the transfer market.
Yeah, I agree. If we continue to, he has to taste the bench, because he's been averaging those mistakes. At least, let me say two. Actually, one is not correct. It's averaging two high-profile mistakes per game, but we haven't been punished until the last game. Here's what I want to ask you: is this, Jerry Z? I don't. Do you see the club going for another goalkeeper without giving Petrovic a shot? Because I would say, even you can say we're humans. We're not, when we're not challenged for something, we take that thing for granted. Sometimes it happens, so it doesn't have to be deliberate. It doesn't have to be intentional, but subconsciously you start say, you can say, taking things for granted. If nothing challenges you, you can say, for the ownership of that thing, or for, you can say, position or something. But in the case of the goalkeeping position, you can say Sanchez, his biggest issue might well be the fact that Petrovic haven't played. He's the unknown, and the manager has shown, has also selected him for cup games. When we thought, Petrovic comes in, and so that we can see what he's capable of doing. Do you think the club will go for another goalkeeper without giving Petrovic a chance? Maybe he's the answer to our problems.
Yeah, it's a very good question, and it's interesting question, and very complex situation right now we are facing with all these errors. And as Bobby explained, and to add to that, he also made the mistakes against Burnley and Aston Villa. Although we were not hurt because of his mistakes, because the ball was retrieved on one instance, and on the other, the ball came back. The strikers stuck back to Sanchez. So this is happening a lot, right? If we see again, Bobby explained it well, and I talked also about this in the one episode in the last week, that if you see the stats, this is what, in this area it's important to understand the stats, the distribution. It will look good. Again, we have to understand the mistakes that he has made, right? If you see the stats of distribution, it is good, but it won't give you the entire picture. So these mistakes are, again, as we go back to the Brighton days, this has occurred many times. So to answer your question, it's not a straightforward thing. First of all, we have to see the other next two games are Brentford and Blackburn in the cup, and then shortly in November, 6th November and 12th November is what I'm seeing is Tottenham and Man City. So we'll get the answer soon, right? If these are the games like that will really test Sanchez if he is still playing as number one. And now to answer the question, I think, in my opinion, with all due respect, it will be like absurd to go for another goalkeeper because we signed two of them just in summer, right? And Petrovic, again, it will come down to do the club, because we don't know, we are not in training. Do they see him as a number one, as a potential number one, or was he always as a backup for this whole season, right? So it will depend what they see in Petrovic. Is he ready to be a number one? But in my opinion, I think they should give him a chance. And I think most of us anticipate, he'll get a chance against Rovers. I would personally like him to play against Brentford, to be very honest. And we need to put some pressure on Sanchez.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately, that's not going to happen. And here's why I think the manager will most likely view Sanchez's mistake as an opportunity for him to self-reflect and learn. And usually, when you believe that a person have learned, when you believe that someone has learned from a particular mistake, you'd rather go for that person that have learned from the mistake that they've made than for a novice who uh, because it wasn't the one that made that mistake and haven't learned from it. But go ahead with what you were saying.
yeah, no, of course, that's another perspective. I'm just saying that I personally want Petrovic to start, because we need to Sanchez to know, right, that we have a goalkeeper. And we need to see, right? Poch needs to see Petrovic again. If he won't play, that the club won't know. They won't know enough in the training. So anyhow, so to answer that, I think of course it will come down how he'll progress, like Sanchez, in the next month or two. If this will continue and it will happen again and again, then for sure, like, it's a huge possibility, but it will be a bad thing because we'll already be looking in our contingency plan. That is why I'm saying that it's a good time, but probably he'll play in the cup. So I hope, like, Petrovic will be the answer if Sanchez is still struggling or will be struggling in the future.
Yep, thank you so much for that. Mourinho time to go into international football? I don't think so. He's always seeking that you can say club football high every 3 years. That's why he doesn't stay that long in a particular club. Our board also said Potter is the best up and coming manager in the world. I remember that. Hopefully, Petrovic's class. People are saying he's actually good on the ball, and the reason why we signed him mainly because of his ability on the ball. But his highlights show his goal stopping, shot stopping abilities. Just a wide question: how do you guys rate Oli Watkins? I prefer Watkins over Tane, in my opinion. I think I agree with you. I've talked about him last season, last transfer window, was it, or January window? When I mentioned him, people started coming at me and saying he's injury prone. I think he's an excellent finisher.
Yeah, I,
He's
I was
actually,
gonna I was
yeah. Go
gonna
ahead.
say that's the problem with Ollie Watkins, his injuries, his injury record, and we
Yeah.
don't need that at Chelsea. We've got enough injury-prone players.
So that's most likely why we haven't gone for him. But he's an excellent finisher and he's also underrated. Yeah, I like him so much, honestly. I have to be honest. Potter Clark, let's see. Mourinho is said to have turned down a Saudi Arabia job this summer. Yep. Yeah, that's the sort of man he is. I think Mourinho will manage Portugal one day, but not now. For me, I don't think he'd do that now. Sanchez is 25 years old, quite young for a goalkeeper. This is this age when they start a priming soon. So we should give him time. But hopefully, this because we have a very young squad. We don't like to be witnessing circumstances where we play very well. This very young squad will play very well, do everything to win the game, and then boom, the goalkeeper makes a one silly mistake or the other, and we end up losing the game. It will affect them so much. They're not that experienced. But I agree with you. Sanchez tempo is often weird. He's too slow sometimes and hyperactive in some occasions. That's hilarious, really. Yeah, people having conversation. Peace and blessings, Metal Face Doom. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Sanchez can be fixed. All he needs to do is work on his ball distribution and remain calm. Whenever the ball passing matches pass back to him, just kick it away until things click. Yeah, less of the back passes until we start. You can say we're well rehearsed, like Bobby would say. I keep Sancho far away. Yeah, keep him. I don't think we want him. Except if he comes, you can say at a bargain price, then the club will may well jump at the opportunity to sign him. Like I said, passing back to him. Yeah, yeah, I did the tapping on you. I knew you were going to say that. Passing back to Sanchez 100 times a game and encouraging him to play that way. Yeah, we'll always see mistakes, but I don't want to be seeing too many of that. They want him to play out from the back. Yeah, Osimhen is the striker we need, not Watkins or Tone. Okay, it depends on who you ask. The mistake was that we ain't finished that game against Arsenal on time. Why? Because we maybe missed the quality of players who are under big pressure because of all last year and what happened with our club. I think I agree. Chances are, if we had Nkunku on the bench, we'd score 3 more goals on the day because we missed some clear-cut chances. The only mistake was not chances. Yeah, I agree with you. Had we been clinical, even with this mistake, we still win it. Let's see what else we have here. I agree that the pass has two ends. In this case, there was also a dummy from Enzo. I wouldn't blame him completely. I wouldn't. We have to be honest. That was reckless from Enzo. You're doing a dummy for somebody you weren't too sure that was behind you, but everything leads me back to Sanchez. Moreover, when our patterns of play are just gelling, it's a huge risk to be passing to the goalkeeper that many times. I agree with you. I'm going to continue doing that tapping to Constantine Dante. I keep clicking on the 100% icon emoji or the heart emoji or the laughing emoji or the shock emoji or whatever you can. Please, that will go a long way. I appreciate that. 28 likes. Let's get it to at least a 30. So let's move on to the next item we have lined up here, people. When are the fan base gonna turn on Enzo? I think you have somebody maybe that's already turned on him and Raphael, but maybe somebody banned him again today because he doesn't know how to you can say the light maybe for lack of a better term. Never. Gallagher to Liverpool. We'll talk about that in a bit. And Chelsea, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's move on to the next item, people. All right. All right, there you go. This one, I'm gonna start with you, Jerry Z. If you're paying attention, I'm not too concerned, and that's because he still has 2 seasons left. And again, we still have to the summer to sort things out. I think this is that sort of report that would like to debunk here. To me, if you look at this and if you want Gallagher to stay at Chelsea and you're concerned because of this particular report, then you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not living a healthy life in terms of your mindset. Let's look at it. It says there are no contract talks between Chelsea and Conor Gallagher at the moment. Yeah, he still has 2 years left on his contract, practically. And says almost again he is still he's still set to become a free agent at the end of next season. At the end of next season, so pay attention to this. So if you want, for me, if he stays, I'm fine. If he leaves, I'm fine. But if you've seen this report and you've taken it and you're running with it and go, oh no, oh now they want to sell him, oh no, not Gallagher, then pay attention. The club isn't in a rush. He's still set to become a free agent next season and will almost certainly be subject of fresh transfer interest in January if no significant progress is made on a new contract between now and then. Why even talk about it if no significant progress is made? Why there are no contract talks already. So this second part is just absolute horse doo-doo in my opinion. Here's the thing. I'm going to repeat myself. If he leaves, I'm fine. If he stays, I'm fine. But let's hear you. What do you make of this particular report? Are you concerned, Jersey? I know you're a big fan of Gallagher. Are you concerned with regards to this report? It doesn't bother you. Let's hear you.
Yes. Yes, I'm a big fan of Conor Gallagher, but I'm not bothered at all. If anything, it's a good news because, of course, first of all, it's very difficult to again break it down, and there's so many conflicting stuff. So let's put it at face value. Let's see there is some truth to that. So it's a good thing in this way that if he is playing better, right? Clubs like Liverpool, Tottenham, let's say, if it's true, if they are interested in him, the good thing is that it will add the premium. So both ways, it's a good thing, right? Personally, of course, and I believe other Chelsea fans now who finally are seeing the progress and see his work rate and his how he has gelled in the team, and he's a pivotal player now, would probably want him to stay as one of our own. But again, we still have time, as you mentioned. It will depend, right? I think, in my opinion, again, it will come down to the fact that probably no one expected, right, including us, including me, or all the Gallagher fans, that he will be playing so well. And because we were open to sell him in the summer, right? So now because
No,
he
there's
is,
no way to tell that was the case. There's no way to
yeah,
tell we were open to selling
yeah,
him.
I'm just saying that what was reported, right? I'm just saying what was reported. So
Mm,
the thing is that because now he's such an important part of the team, and with Lavia still to come and all the other people who are linked with the job. So again, it will come down to the fact that if we want to keep him and if he wants to sign, this is of course a good possibility, a great possibility. And if we sell him, then I'm sure that the premium will be higher. The only thing that I would be looking at, let's say, of course, we I would want him to be here. I would love him to sign a long-term contract, and I've been very open about that. But let's say if there's some truth and we don't reach an agreement, right? I'm just trying to break it down, the all the permutations and combinations. So I would only be happy, or let's say content, if he leaves, if it's Pochettino's call, not the board's call, or not a forceful sell. That's all I can say.
hmm. Bobby, let's see how you the Gallagher situation. I think people they've started exploiting Chelsea fans of vulnerability, especially those that want Gallagher to stay. And for me, if he stays, I'm fine. If he leaves, I'm fine. What do you make of the situation, Bobby? I think this is absolute nonsense. This report just doesn't make sense. And it's saying here's the most annoying aspect of this particular report says he's still set to become a free agent at the end of next season. Gosh, it's just Bobby, just them. You can
Yeah.
say, but let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had faith in Conor Gallagher, as you know. I don't always believe in the finished article. I think he is a great player of his type in the
Mm,
making. Last season was an unfair season for him. His first season fully back at Chelsea, and he met up with chaos. But even then, he wasn't that bad in terms of the kind of player he is. But fans, in their overall frustration, kind of took it out on him, unfairly so. Gallagher's stock at the moment is quite high. I think it's the highest he's ever had in his career, to be honest, because he's a regular at Chelsea. He regularly wears the captain's armband and he's turning in very improved, noticeable performances.
hmm
So the agents and those that are into the commercial side of his welfare will push a lot of these narratives. I personally believe the player. The player has said he wants to be at Chelsea. He wants to play for Chelsea. His family are Chelsea, not just the player saying it, but his father is still a season. I think most of his family are still season ticket holders. They are a Chelsea family, and he wants to build his legacy here at Chelsea. Now, Conor Gallagher is not one of those deceived players. He knows what it means to build legacy. He knows that it takes time. He knows you have to earn it, especially at a club like Chelsea, especially coming through the academy like he did. However, his agents and co will be looking for the financial side of things, thereby increasing his stock further. So when they do sit down and go to the negotiating table with Chelsea, he can make some demands. Now, the question is, will he make the kind of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz type of demands? Or will he just make the demand in terms of his playing time and a moderate incremental form of wage,
Hmm.
like Levi Colwell? I think he's more inclined to do that. However, you never know. It's a modern world. Players can change, there's talk of interest in him from Liverpool. I know they pay high wages. They may want to bend his ear. I don't know. But if I was advising Conor Gallagher, I will say stick to your consistency on and off the pitch because therein lies your future. Sometimes you can, be careful what you wish for. The big wages will come with time. He has no business looking at someone like, as far as I'm concerned, a player should not really be looking at big wages till they're about 29, 30, maybe 28, that kind of age. 28, 29, 30. Now I know he's what, 25 thereabouts. So he's coming up to that, and the
Yeah,
length of contract will
he's
be
23.
23, even better. The length of contract will be interesting, but Chelsea will sign a long contract with him, give him security, and let him build his own repertoire. This is where Conor Gallagher is. This is where he should be. He's not an exceptionally gifted player, so he has to work for his benefits. And I think Conor is the type of player that can end up as a Chelsea icon, if he sticks to his path. If he allows people to sway him, oh, Liverpool want to come and give you 300K a week, yeah, he might go there. Yeah, he might be successful, but he's only one injury away from ruining his legacy. Whereas at Chelsea, he can build legacy. I know there's a lot of the fan base that didn't want him, but as time goes on, the fan base is beginning to appreciate him, and from appreciation will come admiration, and from admiration will become loyalty and fellowship. I remember back to Aspilicueta. Now, Aspilicueta was less criticized in his journey than Connor, because the times were different. We were winning, and he will come on, take on, play a part, and then go off and be on the bench. And Aspi was always a 7 out of 10 player. And that's how he built his name. People will turn around and say, well, Dave, you're sure of 7 out of 10 with him. Dave, you're sure of 7 out of 10 with him. He didn't catch the eye. He wasn't particularly gifted, but he was a steady Eddie. Always fit, never injured, always did the job he was told to do. I look at Gallagher like that, especially in the midfield. He can be better than Jordan Henderson was for Liverpool. I think he is made to be a Chelsea skipper, because I'm pretty sure this craziness of having both Reece James and Ben Chilwell as our captain and vice captain will end soon. I think the vice captain slot is just begging for Conor Gallagher. I can't see Reece James being relinquishing the captain's armband unless he becomes continuously injured. But definitely the vice captain will go to Conor Gallagher, because Chilwell will be continuously injured. I just don't see anything other than that for him. That's just him. So, back to your point, this story about Connor, it's political. They're just trying to raise his stock further, see what good deal they can get out of Chelsea. Is it unlikely? It's possible, but it's not. I don't think Connor is focused on that. Connor is a Chelsea boy. He's focused on Chelsea, just like John Terry was. I remember the days when Man City came and tried to turn his head. But in his heart, John Terry didn't want any of it. He wanted Chelsea. They used it. He got a better deal. Not an extraordinary deal like Man City was offering, but good enough. And I think Connor will be around that same level. He won't get anything extraordinary, but what he'll get for Chelsea is good enough because he has the leverage. He is a Chelsea boy. He has a 100% sell on value. So if you're paying him a little bit more than the other midfielders around him, at least he didn't cost you anything. And that's always the bargaining chip in the dressing room. So, I'm looking forward to Connor signing a new contract. I hope he does. And the Chelsea fans that are impatient watching this guy evolve, they amuse me. We've always talked about, oh, we need to allow to play this player. If you don't play him, how can he get better? Oh, how will they develop? Well, we've got a player developing before our very eyes, and we're attacking him. Well, not so much these days, because I've got to say, even on Twitter, the mood has changed around Gallagher. There are people who grudgingly are saying, oh, this guy has improved. He has improved, is their get out of jail phrase. But I think he's more than improved. I think he is coming to his own, and he will be a Chelsea great. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jerry. Just give me a few seconds. Let me give those in the chat, the microphone. Once they speak, I'll come back to you. And I want to say thank you to my very good friend, Viv Dennis, for the 10 membership gift. And I'm just seeing the level of membership is gifted is the one called the Blue Bar. How does that work? That one, it's going to be private stream. Everybody has comes onto the panel seat and have a conversation as talk about Chelsea as if it's in a bar. So that's the Blue Bar level of membership. I appreciate that. 10. That's a lot because it's $4 plus. But I appreciate that. I can see Conor going into the sport, going to sports or the deepest. Unfortunately, I think this guy likes Chelsea so much. If it happens that he wants to leave, I don't think he goes to sports. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I will celebrate that Gallagher transfer with champagne. That's you. You have every right to do so. It's your opinion. Enzo is a baller, but he plays in slow motion. In slow motion. Okay, big up, Coach Raphael. Isn't cordial. He's a straight assassin. That's probably why somebody banned him today again. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Newcastle will need a new midfielder. Let's see. Sell this guy immediately. I'm tired of him. Again, you're entitled to your opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Conor Gallagher has been class, though. You have to give it to him. And I'm happy to see some Chelsea fans give him the credit he deserves for how well he's done. In my opinion, he deserves it. Patience, Eugene. We need patience. He's improving, in my opinion. But still, I think when everyone is fit, he will find it a battle to get into the starting 11 again. You think so? You're stating your opinion there, but we'll find out. I think he offers something unique, and will always have a place in this team. In my opinion, as much as I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea, I think he offers. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
Can I please give an example? I keep hearing this. Oh, when Lavia comes, Gallagher is going to the bench, or the yada yada yada. Let's go to Aspilicueta. Who did Aspi have in front of him? Who more fierce, more difficult to take over than Ivanovic? Branislav Ivanovic is one of the most unsung heroes in it that ever wore a Chelsea shirt. He was magnificent in what he did. But Aspie had to bide his time. Aspie had to use his versatility to get on the pitch. Sometimes he'll play centre back. Sometimes, most of the times, he'll play at the right back position, deputizing for Ivanovic. Sometimes he even went into midfield. He did for Mourinho. So don't worry about Gallagher. Just keep watching his progress, and you will see when the team is fit, which never really is, to be honest. There's always somebody out somewhere. They will all slot in. Lavia is a very flexible player. He will find his place. Gallagher, the same thing. And hopefully by then, we're moving towards a European position. Please, God, let it be Champions League. And we're going to need the full itinerary of these players for this level of competition, the number of competition, home and domestic and European. So, and remember, we're playing World Club Cup next season. Definitely, we're playing that. Isn't it the season we're going in as the new tickets from past winners, because it's now in a new format. So we're playing that competition as well. So don't worry about that. He's fine. He's fine. And big up to those that have the courage to acknowledge his improvement. Sorry.
All right, and the beautiful game. Much love to you, brother. Always nice to see. I appreciate you. I intentionally skipped your comment thinking you were going to come at me quickly, but you did not. Let's see. This is crazy. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. If the only word Raphael is using is just stupid, please leave him. If he goes beyond stupid, name calling is what we don't do here, Raphael. You know I love you, but if you can stop name calling, I actually told you that by now you should be a moderator, if not for not name calling, honestly. But let's see. Welcome back. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Would Gallagher get into City or Madrid team? I don't know. I'm not going to answer that question. Um, I will not honestly answer that question. You answer that. Madrid team, I don't know. It depends on the manager, honestly, in my opinion. Let's see. The argument isn't whether Gallagher is good or not. The argument is that he's improving. He offers something that the manager likes. Would I start him if I were the manager over someone? I would say no. But I can understand what he brings to the team. I just have to be honest. It depends on who you ask, and we're all entitled to our respective opinions. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We are at 38 likes. We should be doing better than that, people. And if you haven't, please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes, it takes just you can say it takes half a second to drop a like on the stream, and also do share the stream on whatever social media platform where you have a presence. We'd really appreciate that. And go check out my brother from the Madiba Lines YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. His name is Tebehu, and YouTube channel is the coolest house. Go check it out. Be sure to subscribe, please. I'd really appreciate that. I doubt Chimera, their play style is also different, to be honest. And that's those you can say leagues are not Premier League. But he might walk into Atletico. Oh yeah. Why did I do a tapping on you, Jesse? Had I seen that or sometime, I honestly I do a tapping on you. I think he is the perfect Diego Simeone player. Yep, the perfect Diego Simeone player is Conor Gallagher. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Skipper is a stretch. I cannot lie. Let's see what else we have here. Cannot wait to see this guy being sold. And if he stays, there's nothing you can do about it. For me, if he stays, it goes, I'm fine. I don't think Gallagher has a big head. He knows his role. I think that's one thing. And if he continues playing as well as he's playing, the manager will keep starting him. In my opinion, he's been the best in the midfield and has been relentless. He's impressed everyone this season. I think I agree with you. His current value should be around 60 to 65 million, certainly more than Havertz. Yeah, I'm still shocked at how much we were able to get from the sale of Kai Havertz. By the way, Lukaku scored a wonderful goal. I know you like him, but you don't mention that name here. I don't like you. And the special one is working wonders with Lukaku. Like I said, Conor Gallagher is the most improved player under Mauricio Pochettino. That's my line. You're still in my line there. He's a good squad player, but I wouldn't say no to anything north of 50 million. Do I think the club will sell him? It's hard to say right now since he hasn't signed a new contract. Gallagher, Casado, and Enzo need to have an uncomfortable conversation with each other about which one of them is going to get the 12 goal and assist this season. That I need from that midfield three. I don't care who gets it, just get it. Just combine and get it whatever way. I mean, it's not easy for Gallagher to play with those guys. Can you stop calling them frauds? Just call their names if you understand. Keep dropping likes on the stream, people. Kachila, a shootout for a shout out for Viv Dennis. Thanks to Viv Dennis also. It's somebody I know. I'm not going to say who that is, but I appreciate the gift for the followers of the community. Lukaku already scored today into 17 minutes into the game. Yeah, just stop name calling. Stop name calling, please. That you see, if you've seen, I usually do skip your comments if you do that, or maybe not read them. Accepting players like them will never going to be the club who will fight every season on all three fronts. Help. Let me hear you. Let me ask you this question, Raphael, Eugene. Are you always correct? You're not. So, in my opinion, as much as I don't think we can do better than Gallagher, but right now the bar is so low. Even he, is proven to be one of our best players this season. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Enzo is definitely not world class. That's your opinion. Imagine Gallagher on the Pep. He's got potential. After all, Raheem Sterling played under Pep. Yeah. So what are you talking about right there? They said Pep would unlock Kovacic. It seems like Pep put him in prison. Yeah. Rather than unlocking him. And I thought he was going to be plug and play there, but I'm not too sure what has happened so far. But we'll find out. Also gives 100% on the field, but he's top a quality player. So not enough. Just yeah. Again, Moise Neil Gallagher is a perfect Inzaghi player. I hope he goes to Inter Milan. I think, yeah, he's a perfect Diego Simeone player too. Maybe that's why we're all where we are. He's our best midfielder, unfortunately. Let us not forget, coach, that Poch comes from the Bielsa school, the high octane football school. And they look for and instantly fall in love with runners. Gallagher will walk into any Bielsa team. Some argument right there. I won't reply to you. Just have coach send him the link. Yeah, tell me who. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. We move on to the next item. We're 39 likes. I still think we can do better than that. Let's get the likes up. Before we move on, I want to ask you this question. Have you spoken about Gallagher?
You're asking me?
Yeah, have you spoken about Gallagher? It looks like I said to you. Did I?
No,
Or have
I,
you
I,
spoken
I,
about it?
I already talked about him.
Uh,
The tweet that you have on the screen, right?
mhm.
Yes, I have already reflected on that.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense in my opinion, that particular tweet. Let's move on to the next item. If there's one player who I would like to be back at CFC coming summer, it's Musiala. Good luck. Yeah, you have every right to dream, but good luck getting Musiala back. All right, this is saying, yeah, Liverpool are keen on signing Conor Gallagher. Liverpool would like to add more English players in their squad. That's according to Simon Phillips. And here's the thing, Gallagher to me will be better in the future. He has the potential to be better once a Liverpool player they sold to a Saudi Arabian club. He's not the most technically gifted, but he was a real asset for them in terms of his energy, his leadership in the midfield. Gallagher has the potential to be a better player than him, in my opinion. But let's hear you, Jerry Z. What do you make of this? Do you think it happens? I don't think it happens. But let's
The,
find out. I'm not
the
too
only
sure
thing
what
I
happens to
know,
Gallagher's future,
the
but we'll
only
find out.
thing
Yeah.
I know is that Liverpool needs a goalkeeper. Oh, sorry, a midfielder.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm about to sleep. It's 3 a.m. over here. So, yeah, they do need a midfielder. As you know, my
3
family are
3
they
a.m. for you.
yeah 3, 6, 3, 7 a.m.
So probably you prefer the Blue Morning shows. Go ahead.
I prefer all the shows anytime. Just love
Hmm.
football and Chelsea. So yeah, but Liverpool need a midfielder. They're short on this position. They are playing some attackers in that position, and Gallagher would definitely, if I have to talk about Liverpool, he will fit in very well, right?
Mhm.
Especially with Endo and McAllister over there. So it does make sense if we talk about Liverpool. But again, like as I have already previously described, he's playing better. Personally, I want him to stay. Again, it makes a professional sense for him to stay. Again, like many people still are not really high on him or not really buying into his progress. But I don't understand that, but anyhow, it's their opinion. But personally, I have said before his progress, right? It goes back in May when Pochettino was announced our coach, and I said he'll be an important player for Pochettino, and that is because what he brings, right? His attributes. It's again, he has different way to play, different dimensions, and his runs are different. It's not like he's running it; they are meaningful, connecting both with the attack and defense, retrieving the ball and passing, and his positional aspects, and also he's covering up Enzo and Caicedo's lack of speed. Sorry, Enzo in particular. So there are many attributes, and he will keep improving the way he has improved. And I completely agree with Bobby. I didn't use the word icon, but I won't like disagree. I can see him like improving a lot. And again, like, because with Lavia coming back and other players, of course, there's no guarantee. We are taking it for granted that if these players will come back, Gallagher will go out or he will be out of favor. Why? if he's improving or his role will be in the next month or two would still be like very important, and his contributions would be important, then those players would need to fight back for the place. So it's something that I'm very happy and so proud of, right? Because I anticipated his progress before the season began. And as far as the sales is concerned, again, be hearing all this news. He's young, he's playing better, and of course, there are many clubs who would be interested in him. And his, asking price also would be going up. And as I stated before, that I would say, God forbid, because I don't want that. But if we sell him, I don't want it to be a need of balancing the book. It should be a footballing reason.
Yep. Do I think the club will sell him? There's no way to tell. We'll find out. My only concern is that I hope he doesn't come to you can say degenerated into the sort of issue we witness in the case of Mason Mount. I hope that's not the case. If Musiala was still a Copan player, fans would want him out. I think fans know good players when they see them. Actually, Musiala will finish at Madrid. That is if Bayern would wants to sell him. Musiala to leave Bayern, that would be something. Bayern only sell unwanted players. And Musiala, he's chosen to represent Germany. Bayern hardly sell their German players. Yeah. Musiala is not extending his contract, and that usually means that Real Madrid have been Snapchatting him, maybe. Well, how about say maybe Chelsea have been Snapchatting Musiala? We don't know, but we'll find out. Good evening, everyone. Aja Onyedikachi, nice to see you. I hope you've been well. 3 a.m. You're going to be tomorrow morning. I'm not reading that. Gallagher to Arsenal in the summer. Partey or Jorginho will likely leave. Partey is looking like the most likely to leave, probably to Saudi Arabia. Jorginho will also leave. It's not going to be there forever. Jorginho will most likely leave as a free agent. Bobby Lancier, what do you make of the rumors linking Conor Gallagher with a move to Liverpool? It sounds like it's believable. Let me just say it's believable, given the fact they lost Henderson. And Gallagher is that sort of player that provides that sort of energy that Henderson provides for whichever team he plays for. Whatever team he plays, he gets to play for. But Gallagher, in terms of leadership, he isn't there yet. But in terms of industry, and I think he will be the perfect replacement for them if we're to believe this rumor from Simon Phillips. But what do you make of it? Do you believe it?
To be honest with you, at this moment, at this time, I don't see Gallagher going anywhere. I think he's such a integral part of Mauricio Pochettino's plans that he will sign a new contract. A lot of this is rival spite, isn't it? You know, Arsenal want to do one on Chelsea. Let's snap up a Chelsea player. Liverpool still haven't gotten over the Caicedo Lavia situation. Let's snap up a Chelsea player. As if Conor Gallagher is the only midfielder that is marketable and able to come and do a job for them. I find that amusing. We're used to it because it happens a lot. And usually this is how they end up with egg on their faces. I think the biggest driver, having said that, is what I said before. They're trying to raise his stock. So whatever he does, his value goes up. If Chelsea sell him, it is a guaranteed minimum of 50 million. If Chelsea keep him, he has a good financial increment to his contract. So that's partly what this is about. And of course, the rest is the spite factor that they always try and throw at Chelsea. They lack the mind of finding other players who will probably fit them better and who actually want to be with them. Gallagher doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to go to Spurs. He would have gone to Spurs if he wanted to. He wouldn't particularly want to go to Arsenal. They're certainly going to have to pay him a lot, as would Liverpool. So why you would want to financially force a player who really hasn't got the heart for you to play for you. Yeah, he'll come, he'll do a good job, but his heart isn't there, and I think that's important in the players you buy. We learned that from Caicedo. Caicedo's heart was with us, so we got him. Lavia's heart is with us, so we got him. Despite the fact that there was other interests. Now, if you're going to have to bribe someone to come to you, I think you are on. It's not really good ground. Let's put it that way. It could work, but it's not the best of grounds. That's just my opinion. Let's see what happens, but he's not going anywhere as far as I'm concerned for now.
Yep, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Gallagher would actually do well at Madrid. He wouldn't be playing with a fraud. Can you stop? Just stop calling any player a fraud. Just fraud. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't want to. As much as I like you, I hate reading such because I have to read it. If you want me to read it, you have to stop using such language. It's high time Todd Paulie stop selling our players to our big rivals. I'm guessing if we mean if he meant well for Chelsea, here's the thing: nobody's saying we're selling him. This report is from the perspective of Liverpool, and you can see that the title says anything at Liverpool. No, nothing is saying we're selling them. We've also addressed this particular report here, which says that there are no contract talks between Chelsea and Conor Gallagher at the moment. He is still set to become a free agent at the end of next season. He still has about 2 years left in his contract, so we're not too worried right now. So don't worry about it. The Bluetooth game says we've managed to weaken Arsenal by giving them Havertz and Man United giving them Mount. So why should Liverpool get away with it? Oh yeah, look at you. Look at that joke. I get it. To Liverpool, let's go. I don't think he leaves. Shame on you. Like somebody will say, but that's by the way. Just enjoy the show, people. Let's stop fighting. We can all enjoy the show. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up right now. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 29 likes. Let's get it to at least a 40. And this is Christopher Nkunku putting on a training gear. Yeah. How involved he is right now, I don't know. But it's a good sign, in my opinion, which means he was outside. And the Trivago thing usually has some tracker in it to measure pace or something like that, or heartbeat. I'm not sure how that works. It's a good sign. Hopefully, we'll see him by December. But I doubt he'd play that much by December. But we're doing well, even in his absence. But we need him back so we can be even stronger. So we get this from Fabrizio Romano and YouTube. So this is saying that Mihailo Mudryk is a very happy and now settled in London with the training session and his personal life. Chelsea had no intention of selling him in the summer. After a difficult 6 months, they wanted to protect him, back him, and support him. They think, we still haven't seen the best yet, and I believe that. I'm one of those that didn't give up on him. I'm one of those that kept supporting him even when others were saying, looks like we wasted money on him. And I never at any time thought that was the case. I've always believed in what he's capable of doing. Maybe because I knew him before he joined Chelsea, not personally. Followed his days at Shakhtar Donetsk. He was brilliant for them. But let's hear you, Jerry. Is there anything else you want to say with regards to that one?
No, it's clear. Of course, there was never a doubt. He's a long-term player for us. Of course, he needs to improve. There's still a lot of improvement needs to be done. He is improving. It's taking time. But I'm very positive about it. The only problem as of now is his ability off the ball, which was very good against Arsenal, but he needs to improve on that. He's a player who is comes in with different patterns. He has moments, right? He needs to be consistent. But the thing is that the attributes and the dimensions and the quality that he has, or what he can bring, is really rare, right? And if it can all, if Pochettino and the player can work on that, which I'm sure they will, then I think he will be one of our very important player in the near future. Yeah. Uh, Coach, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you for catching that. This particular report is saying clubs started to approach Chelsea in the summer for Mudryk to see if there was a way to sign him after a difficult start to life at Chelsea. Chelsea said no, they believe in him and think he will be a star. And one of those clubs, according to Terry Flews, was Arsenal. Yep, he did say Arsenal were trying to see if they could sign Mudryk from Chelsea. Bobby, I don't know you have anything to add to that. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Chelsea Football Club is a club in management, an ownership, and a squad that is under development and um, and progression.
Mhm.
People like Mikhailo Modric and most of those players we brought into the first team were handpicked for this project. This is a 100% project. It were players that were in development. A lot of them were under the age of 21. Most of them were even teenagers. They're going to be developing. Chelsea is a development in process. Mikhailo Modric was one of those players. They are on such long-term contracts that anybody coming to want to buy them, should the club even consider it, is going to have to pay through their nose. They're going to have to break a couple of British transfer records. It's not going to happen. If we want to see this project through, we have to allow the developments to take place. If that's Mikhailo Modric, if that's Madueke, if that's even Enzo, if that's even Caicedo to some extent. All these players, Gallagher, Jackson, they're all developing. Ukuchuku, even Colwell, Levi Colwell as a defender, they are all developing. People are talking of Badiashile. Yeah, well, before Badiashile got injured, yes, he's an excellent player, but he has some development to do. You know, there are one or two little odd things with his positional play, one or two, especially with his. He's not a slouch, but he needs to improve his positioning so he can catch players better. Desassi further down the road in development, but he's developing in that this is his first season in the Premier League, and believe me, he is like night and day ahead of the experiment that was Koulibaly. So we've got to give this time. We have to give these guys time, and we're doing well. Cole Palmer developing, all of them. The only player that we can say is not developing and needs to show lead by example, and to be fair, in the past two games he has, is Raheem Sterling. So we've got to give it time. So all these rumors of Terry Fleurs, yes, he's very balanced, but he's not a Chelsea fan. He's a Man United fan, and if you give him this sort of carrot, he will chew it and spit it out and let the bits drop where they will drop. You know, I don't believe it. I think it's arrant nonsense. I don't see why Arsenal will go to a player that rejected them. I mean, where's your pride? This is where fans come in and their little revenge games, you know, transfer revenge and pride things. You know, oh, Chelsea went back. I mean, Arsenal went back for Modric. What? Okay, he's just going to snob you again. So it's not. It's not true. Let me just be that blunt. It's not true. We have a project. We're working on it. We've had massive injuries, of which he was among. He hasn't not been injury free. He's been in and out with injuries, which is partly what has hampered his progress and his regular game time. And because of the kind of player he is, he won't be playing every game. You know, he's a speedster, high energy, fast bursts. These are players that come on and win you games or stay on and control games. they are the first to be substituted. And this is how is going to be with him. He's not going to be a 90-minute player. You can't playing the way he does. It doesn't happen. So I'm happy watching his development. Remember when we were going through that period of time where, it was really looking bad. It was nasty. I mean, gosh, who was it? West Ham, ooh, horrible. Nottingham Forest, ooh, and Aston Villa. They were not good games. But every time I came on your platform, I said, well, these are the teething problems we are going to have to go through, more especially with our injuries, which has further inhibited us. So finally, no, that is not true. That's just clickbaiting. And Mudryk is very much in the Chelsea project and evolving within the plans of the manager.
Thank you so much for that, Bobby. I appreciate you. Let's see what else we have here. I think that's the last item we'll have to address here. Good seeing Nkunku back in training. Yeah, we'll see if we'll have some training pictures to look at there. Nkunku is on the grass, but will be avoiding contacts for now. It's still great news. Yeah, that's still an excellent news. So thank you. I'm glad you have that news for us. It's a sight for the sore eyes, in my opinion. Let's see. Poch has a solid plan for Mudryk. I think he's made him happy. You say he trusts him. We need to give these young players a time. It's not like the old days. It's as simple as that. Time is needed. I want to shout out for Mudryk for his work rate off the ball and the pace with which he shoots back to help Cucurella. It's admirable. His work rate off the ball was excellent the last time, and it's improving, which means he's paying attention to what the manager has been telling him. What? I'm not reading that. Keep dropping the likes. Raphael, your through balls are so rough. The coach finds it hard to tap in even on a first class pitch with smooth surface. You need to polish your passes. Much love, Raphael. I think you're getting to understand how we operate here. Everybody loves you, we like you, but we try not to name call. Bobby just called Koulibaly Project Experiment text. I like Koulibaly, and I'm not too sure how to respond to that, but we'll move on. He's been sold. It's as simple as that. Rafael Gallagher has nothing to do with Enzo. Yep, they differ. I love Gallagher, Eugene. It does not. You're not paying attention to what he's been saying. I'd rather have just go away. Let's see. No, coach. Eugene is a very polished player with a fine eye for tapping in. He may be a raw talent, but has Mudryk style. Wow. Gallagher is a clear evidence that we are no partners. Okay. We need Badiashile back. I think he's back. And probably could have played the last game had the manager selected him. We'll also forget how important chemistry is. I cannot think of a team that has as many new players as us. Chemistry is a big issue. You can argue chemistry is the reason why we're seeing, clearly the reason why we've been seeing or experiencing disjointed displays here and there, some of which has led to us conceding goals. It's as simple as that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. 41 likes, and we'll be rounding up soon. Big up EE from Vix and and the Blue Tiffle game. What's it saying here? The Blue Tiffle game saying, coach. Rafael is very press resistant. You can see he's very press resistant for a one-man midfield. Yeah, he is. Doesn't care. Ban him. He comes back the next day and still talks the same way. Badiashile, the Sassi back. We may well see that. And why am I saying that? And that's because they've been paired before at Monaco, and the partnership works for Monaco. Though somebody have, I think we've discussed that at length here some time ago, and somebody talked about how they play. You can say they use a different structure. That may well be an issue. So let's see if we can see some training pictures here, and then we can call it a day. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 41 likes, not easy, given the fact we haven't streamed consistently for a while. Nani Mudryk hugging a fan, took a picture with him. Oh, smiles. That's a beautiful smile, by the way. And Chelsea, that's is that Mauricio Pochettino's son and Levi Colwell there. I think that's it. And that's Mihailo Mudryk. We've addressed that particular report there. Um, okay, what the boost talking about Christopher Nkunku's presence. We've seen this also, and this is Christopher Nkunku also taking pictures with some fans. Yep, nice one there. It's been all smiles. And Mauricio Pochettino. And who is this? Is this somebody I'm supposed to know? And this is Mauricio Pochettino. Now, it's now making Mihailo Mudryk understand how good he can and will be. So much untapped potential remains. I think I agree. And this is Conor Gallagher. All smiles there. This is Conor Gallagher and Joe Cole. Yeah, a legend, a Chelsea legend. So a few pictures there, and it says Razi, Raheem Sterling, and some school students are there. That's it. No more pictures there. I don't know. Yeah. Anybody else on the panel want to say anything else before we call it a day? Anybody? Anybody there?
Thank you guys so much. Really enjoyed the show. Take care.
Thank you.
It was a
And
nice
I know it
conversation.
would be a bit boring for you because there aren't much to analyze, right?
Yeah, but now I'm more of a co-host, right?
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
should get
big up
used to it.
Jay-Z. Big up Jay-Z. It's always good. Always good.
Always good. Yeah. Bobby, anything else you want
You guys, Bobby,
No,
absolutely.
to add to it?
I've got nothing to add. I think it's been a good show and it's been appropriate. I was actually expecting you to stream tomorrow because it's the eve of the game on Saturday, but it's all good.
When is the game? Let me see what day. We already have that show scheduled. That's a prediction show. We usually do that. Let me
Game
see what.
Saturday midday our time, UK time. That's
So tomorrow.
12:30.
So probably at UK time.
Yeah, 12:30.
So let's see.
12:30.
27th, 11 a.m. 12:30 my time. Was that what you said?
Yeah, it's the early kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, I said 12:30 UK time.
UK time. So which means it should be around 4 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
So it looks like I made a mistake in that schedule there. Let me check. Saturday we have the Chelsea game, 4:30 a.m. my time. And Saturday is so tomorrow is Friday. So this show should be tomorrow actually. So I will change the date for the show, the Premier League Chelsea versus Brentford match prediction. So that should be tomorrow. Wow. Thank you for bringing that up, Bobby. It could have been a serious mistake there. Yeah, 27th. Today is 26th. Yeah, it's tomorrow, 11 a.m. tomorrow. So we have a show tomorrow. So it's correct. Tomorrow is 27, right, Jersey?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
so
the
it's all
game
good.
is
So we're good. Yeah, so
the
we're
game
good.
is
So we
on.
have the match preview / predictions tomorrow. So we're good. We're good to go. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone in the house. 10:30 p.m. for him, the game proper. Okay. But Constantine Dante, thank you for finding the time to join us this morning. And let me go again, Constantine Dante. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate you. Vic, much love. And the beautiful game, much love. The original shout out there is the beautiful game. And Vic, much love to you. Raphael, much love to you. You know I love you, brother. And JC, I appreciate you all. Eugene, much love to you. Chimera, much love to you. And Jerry Z, much love to you, brother. And Bobby, much love to you. If I missed your name, apologies. I appreciate you all. God bless us all. See you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.